T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Aric Fiscus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
I was kind of trying to do the like the Muppets, like when they dance, like when they're shaking, and that's what I was kind of going for. The Muppets.
The Muppets.
Just putting on my face.
Let's say, what's going on over there anyway?
This is my my large chapstick. This is about $7-8, but it'll last you. I don't know if you can tell reference. I mean, I'm trying to find something for size. Okay, here's my phone. There's my chapstick. It's sizable, and it's
for those of you watching at home. He literally is talking about a lip balm.
Yes,
just in case.
Blood orange mint. Blood orange mint. Listen to this, fellas. Where does it say this? 140 degrees. It supposedly doesn't melt. It won't melt. Now, I have had a melt in the car.
Are you going to be tanning on the surface of the sun? Or
no. It's not. I mean, it's not a suntan. It's for dry lips. But have you never had a chapstick melt just in your pocket or?
I have.
Well, this won't unless
chapstick. And what kind of body temperatures are you emitting?
I feel sorry for your chapped, cracked ass lips if you don't use chapstick.
My lips aren't chapped and cracked ass. So
I have a very exotic story about that.
Cracked ass or ass cracked lips.
Whatever.
So let me finish my plug here for the Duke Cannon boys. These guys is a good group. First off, proceeds from every order go to the United States military. So, and they send their products out to our military men and women who are overseas and things, and to kind of test them, and before they go and sail. And anyway, so this is Duke Cannon. I've only had these melt when I've left them in a portion of my car where the sun is hitting it.
Yeah,
but not unlike other chapsticks, including Chapstick brand and Burt's Bees or whatever the hell it is.
None of your beeswax.
That'll melt as soon as it even thinks it's getting hot. But this stuff will not. And also, funny story. I use this often at school, especially early in the year, because I don't know if I'm the only teacher that I talk more at the beginning of the year than I do the rest of the school year. But my lips get chapped early on in the school year, and I had a student a couple years back think that this was a vape. They saw me in the hallway. We were walking somewhere, and I pulled it out of my pocket, and they told somebody that they saw me vaping. So yeah. So first,
they didn't grab it and think it was a glue stick.
There's a lesson there. Don't believe everything your kids come home and tell you. First off.
You could get away with that in elementary school. They don't have vape detectors in elementary schools.
Man. Well, by the way, Joey, welcome aboard.
Joey.
Savannah's with us. Joey.
Savannah.
We are capless tonight.
Yes, he does make a good point there. No one is wearing a ball cap.
I noticed that. I have two of them. Here's what happens, Joey. So we can look at ourselves. Obviously, I'm sure you could do this as well. You can look at yourself before you go live. And I just kind of look and I say, do I need a ball cap? And I thought, nah, my hair's not terrible tonight, so I won't put a ball cap.
I got a new coif last night, so
but I have nice coif.
Thank you.
Hey, it's episode 140. I'm with the Underhills. So put me on their tab.
Nice.
Brady Liming Esquire.
Thank you very
Esquire.
much.
I am still the
The
Monsieur.
Monsieur. Yes.
As am I, Celia. It does look rather glue stickish.
Yeah.
It is.
Celia, you probably wish it was a glue stick so he glue his lips shut so he would
No.
talk all the time, right? Right?
No. If I stopped talking, life would be boring.
She could probably use a little boredom.
Which is why everybody's here. They want to hear us chat, which is why we are at episode 1 flipping 40. Can you believe that?
Why? Oh well. I thought you were saying people were asking why we've done 140 of these. That's not very good.
Maybe some are.
Yeah.
Why the hell did you stop at 1?
All right. Those who haven't checked in, we have a few people in the room. If you'd like to, please do. If not,
Please
don't have
don't.
to. It's all good. So if you haven't been with us for a couple episodes, we have decided to pare back our conversation into one topic and one game, or 2 topics, although we haven't done 2 topics yet. I mean,
No.
I have a game of the evening.
You know, we've never done
What have we
2
ever done?
games and no
Yeah.
topic.
That's fact.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Maybe we should do that sometime.
Maybe someday.
Can
Although
I throw a little shout out to our voice, the voice of the Play It By Ear podcast, Mr. Matt Bond.
He has a new venture, doesn't
Yeah, did you notice that? So
he? He did.
I'm doing this plug without permission from Matt and without even really knowing anything, but I think we all got the Facebook invite. Matthew Vaughn Entertainment. Matt is the voice. He's the voice that you hear at the beginning of each episode. He has a smooth and deep and buttery
Dulcet tones.
Yeah. And so anyway, he is starting. It looks like a new venture, karaoke. I'll just read you on his Facebook page, the whatever you want to call it, the bio or whatever. Yeah, it says, treat your guests to the joy of karaoke. I cater to private parties, business events, bars, and more. So apparently it's a traveling karaoke. I assume that he brings, I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but yeah, Matt, if you're listening or you happen to catch this on the replay, let us know what you're doing.
You'd like us to say. We'll plug it.
Yeah,
We will.
Absolutely.
We should be plugging.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, good luck to Matt on that. If you need some karaoke in your life, call Matt.
It sounds like a singing pudding karaoke.
okra karaoke.
Does it have little bird eyeballs in it? Karaoke. All right. So Todd has our topic of the evening. Again, I have a game of the evening called Race to Stupid.
Yes.
Well,
I like my chances.
Yeah. All right. So, Todd, you're up, sir.
All right. So I think this topic has been dabbed in. It is dabbed. I remember, Brady, one time we talked a little bit about this, and I know it's something we're all pretty aware of, and something we all probably each one of these we've experienced, at least one of us. 40 extremely awkward situations that we can all relate to, as shared in this thread. So, without further ado,
I do.
I already feel awkward. You haven't even started yet.
You should feel awkward because I think the great thing about some of these, as I perused, before we jumped on, I perused through this list a little, and I think some of the great things about these is I felt awkward reading them. Now I want to go ahead. I want to preface because I don't want to talk it up and make it sound like it's going to like blow people away. But these are just average everyday things that happen, like a lot of times in public, a lot of times in small groups, whatever. And the first one is when you start to tell a story in a group, like say you're hanging out with people and you start to talk. But in the middle of the sentence, you realize that absolutely no one in the group is listening to you.
And then
and then you kind of have to just slowly get quiet and hope that no one took notice.
Or worse yet, if you feel really compelled to do the and redirect, especially if it's urgent.
Do you ever do that? Do you
No,
ever
I
feel
don't.
what you say is so important that people have to hear it? Say,
No,
hey,
well-
I'm trying to tell a story.
I do not, but likewise, I'm gonna kick a little ass here on the other side of this. I don't make any bones about the fact that I'm a talker and I like to talk, but I also think anyone who knows me knows I'm a pretty good listener, and I pride myself on the fact that I don't do that to people. If people are talking, they have the floor. I'm not an interrupter a lot. I mean, it happens here sometimes because it's hard to gauge the timing of the.
Yeah.
But I'm not an interrupter. And if I notice someone is talking in a group, even if I'm not interested, I will typically wait until they stop talking to talk. Now, that doesn't mean I'm always listening, but I feel bad for other people when it happens. And I've been known to try to give people eye contact to let them know that they need to just stop because no one's listening. Have you ever done that? Like,
The old.
you kind of like, you kind of like look around because the people aren't listening. They're typically not looking either. So you can kind of get by with,
That is true.
I'm laughing because everybody's gone through that.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward, and I think it's a valuable lesson there. I don't know about you guys, but like, I always teach with my students that if their hands up, they're not listening because what they're doing when their hands up is they're thinking about what they want to say, and when you're thinking about what you want to say, you're not actually hearing what other people are saying. So I think a lot of us as adults could probably use a dose of that as well. It's impossible to have your hand up and be hearing. I didn't say, and be listening, not hearing. But yeah, I try to look out for people, but I've been in those situations many a times where I'm realizing like nobody's listening. What's really fun to do is just start saying gibberish.
Oh yeah.
So Celia, my question here is now Todd has just said I'm a good listener. So then you put this comment up here. Every day of my life, I have literally said before, well, no one is really listening to me, so I guess I'll be quiet, and no one's even batted an eye. So, Celia, who is that referring to?
Well, you're going to put her on the spot. I can tell you it's not me.
And then,
I think if it was you, I think she would say that. I think
that's what I mean. But if it's not me, she probably won't say it.
Do you guys...
Probably.
Do you guys ever add that extra, like when you're getting ready to do the gibberish because nobody's listening to you, so you just say something so off the wall, like I am now going to make toast with badger butter, or something like just something really stupid, just to see if anybody is,
is actually listening.
I'm going to blame. We'll never get through this entire list of 40s. This may be a few weeks because these are supposed to be lighthearted and humorous, but also there's a little bit of a seriousness to this too. I'm going to blame the fact we somehow as people take pride. People take pride in being able to multitask, and I actually, if I see someone say they're good at multitasking, I instantly want to go, "Pah," because. There's actually scientific evidence that says no one is good at multitasking. If you're multitasking, you are performing each task in a mediocre way.
Efficiently.
Yes. So when people brag about multitasking, I'm less than impressed. I would rather know that you can hone in and zone in on one thing for 2 damn hours and accomplish it.
Yeah.
But when you brag about, and I think there's a little bit of that in this. I think people think that they're hearing you. They think they're listening to you, but they can also like, hey, what's going on over here and talk, and I think it just comes down to this society of where we are supposed to multitask. We're supposed to be proud of our multitasking and brag about our multitasking, but no one, if you're listening to me, you're not good at multitasking. I'm sorry to burst your bubble.
Okay. So I'm going to be devil's
canceled
advocate here.
Right there in the first one. How you like that?
Yeah. Right. There's also scientific evidence that some people, I'm not saying everyone, some people retain knowledge better if they're doing something else while they're listening. So some people will doodle while they're listening.
Doodle.
And it engages different parts of the brain to retain information.
Is that along the lines of sucking on a mint, like when you're studying something and then you sucking on the mint again when you're? I get that, but I think it has to be a pretty much brainless activity.
I'll give you that. If you're trying, I'll give you that. If you're trying to be very efficient at doing 2 things at once, you won't be as efficient as if you did each one separately. I'll give you that.
Let's go to number 2 here, and just stop me. I don't have my comments thing up, so stop me if we have comments ever. But when you've had number 2, when you've had multiple interactions with someone, but you can't remember their name. But it's gone too far to admit you've forgotten it, so you just have to call them love or mate or something like that. Which we would. This is not.
That sounds rather British.
Yeah. But you know, you get the point. Like, you've met them already a few times. You just don't know their name.
Or you had them in class 15 years ago, and you had 180 days worth of interactions with them 15 years ago.
What do you mean 15 years ago? I instantly, and I feel terrible about this, I forget names as soon as the school year's over.
Yeah. Disengage, re-engage. Yeah.
I mean, there are a few names that stand out and but it's never. I'm great with faces. I'm just terrible with names. But it's funny because having a younger coworker, a younger teammate at work has made me challenge myself to. My first couple years teaching, it would take me a couple weeks to learn everybody's name, and then my partner, she learns them all by the end of the first day. So I had to.
That's impressive.
I had to step it up a little bit. So now typically about end of second day, I have the names, not last names, just first names.
Well, see, and my recall is odd, and maybe it's not odd, but when I see some person I had in class years ago, even if I can't bring up their name, I can tell you where they sat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean,
well, I think that's because that's a face thing. I think it's the same. It's you remember their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Numero 3. When you're having a conversation with someone, you don't hear what they say, so you ask them to repeat it, and they do, but you still don't hear it, and ask them to repeat it again, and they do, and you still don't know what they said. Do you ask them to repeat it again and maybe still not hear it? Pretend you heard it and nod your head and hope it's an appropriate response. Stab yourself in the eye with a pen to create a diversion and change the subject. Yeah, that happens quite a lot to me as I get older. My hearing is not what it used to be. I happened the other day in the cafeteria where I had an entire conversation with someone working in the cafeteria, and I still don't know what they said. All I know is I got a nice heaping helping of macaroni and cheese. So it must have been something. It must have been something about, do you want more macaroni and cheese?
And then you're like,
sure. Yeah.
Oh man.
Hello, Richard.
So what say you guys? Do you just continue to say, huh, or what? Or do you do one of these? Like, excuse me, pardon me. And then you say, I'm so sorry. I just absolutely cannot hear you. Do you change the way you're asking them to repeat it?
Yes. If it's gone past twice, there's probably extenuating circumstances like noise or speech impediment or
Brady.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so it's it's kind of like that, and just to, it's like, I'm sorry, but yeah, it happens, especially in our line of work. Maxwell's
with us.
Maxwell.
Hey, I ran into the mother of Maxwell and his sibling at Crochet's a couple days ago.
Crochet.
And said we really are glad to have him listening.
Number 4 is very short and sweet and simple. And new. Seasonal allergies during COVID. I think we all were kind of in that boat where you cough, you sneeze, you sniffle at all, and people look at you like you literally have the plague.
Like,
you're a leper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're waiting for you to move your hand and your top lip be just in there in your palm.
You know what I always thought of when that happened it generally didn't happen to me, but someone else. You remember that episode of the Brady Bunch where Cindy had the sniffles? And she would sneeze, and then the camera would like hone in on her face. Like,
yeah.
is Cindy going to be able to go to? Well, I don't know where they were going. They were getting ready to go somewhere with the family, and then Cindy's got the sniffles.
I think I do remember that. Yeah.
I've not thought about that in years, dude.
Yeah. I saw a picture the other day of like an adult Brady Bunch, and I don't remember. I think it was a few years old now, and I almost sent it to you fellas that.
What?
It was a picture of like the cast, but as adult, like grown ups.
Okay.
And it was a few years old now, but it's just amazing how each one of those kids looks the same, but yet different, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if part of that is we saw them, every day on TV or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think
syndication. Yeah.
I mean, all of us resemble ourselves when we were younger, but I don't think. I mean, when it's famous people that grew up in the spotlight from their childhood on, it's just like they look like just
not everyone though. I mean, I'm telling you, there are kids like were in my elementary school, 10 years ago, and they get into high school. They look totally different. Don't recognize them.
Well, no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I don't think in real life that happens, but I think if somebody grew up on TV, Ron Howard looks like an adult Ron Howard. Like, you know what I mean? Like people that were childhood actors look exactly the same as they did.
Except he's bald. I mean,
well, true, but
do you know what's out of my mind
here? Who?
Brad Savage.
There you go.
I mean, there's the quintessential.
I can't think of one childhood actor that doesn't look identical now to they did when they were in childhood, to be honest with you. But I think it's probably just because we were watching them on TV. We were watching them grow up.
Or is it because maybe some childhood actor doesn't look like they did in childhood and you saw them on TV and didn't know who the hell they were?
Well, true. Well, sometimes you don't know until, and then when you find out who they were, you're like, oh yeah. Take the guy off of A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have picked him out of a lineup, but then once you realize it's the kid from A Christmas Story, he looks just like the kid from A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip 5 because it's too close to number 1. This is basically talking about multiple conversations and getting cut off and staying. Number 6, and I remember this vividly as a kid, and even as an adult shopping with Celia. When you're next in line at the grocery store with your mom, and she leaves you to just get one more thing, and the anxiety and awkwardness builds because you're up and she's nowhere to be found. You guys remember
you're
that?
on deck, stepping up to the plate.
And you don't know if they left for good and you're going to have to figure out a way to pay for this, or if they're going to announce something over the intercom and embarrass you.
or is it ethical to allow someone in front of you in the line
to go around?
But
which brings up a point.
Take the place behind,
or do you just start placing things on the
and hope they get there,
or you supposed to leave the line totally?
So, what is the etiquette if that happens and you let somebody bypass you? Do you go to the end of the line, or is the person behind, are you wilt that spot so you could give up one more piece of line? One more place in line. Is that infinite, or are you just cast aside to the back of the line immediately?
And here's a question on the same note. Okay. So let's say I'm in a line and I'm 5 people up from the end. Am I allowed to let someone in front of me and yet also in front of the 5 people behind me?
I don't think you can speak for them. I don't think
it's been done.
By you?
Maybe.
Well, so I think you got to have a little common sense about you. You got to have, okay, so if Celia and I are grocery shopping and I say, hey, I wanted to go grab some Lucky Charms. I forgot I wanted to get a box of those.
You can't give me Lucky Charms.
If we have 5 items, that's a bonehead move. If it's like our month, if it's a grocery cart full, and I know I can get there and back before she even gets down to the bottled water and the case of pop, and then you go for it. Don't you think there has to be the amount of items in your cart has to play into play there.
If you got a pack of Rollers and a sack of dog food, 2 items.
This sounds like an order you've had.
That's probably why.
There's never been anybody have a pack of Rolos and a bag of dog food.
I'll bet Brady has.
Oh yeah.
He said that too off the cuff.
First off, if you are under the age of 77, you should not be buying at Rolos.
You don't like Rolos?
I haven't bought Rolos in 20 years.
Caramel Rolos.
All right. Yes.
All right. So you're saying under the age of 25 and over the age of 77,
no,
you can't enjoy a Rolo in between?
No, because I'm saying that Rolos have not been important to anyone in 50 years.
No, I love.
Do you read your newspaper, and suck on a Werther's to warm yourself up for the real deal Rolos?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm also not slurp it back on a Horehound candy while I'm canning the beets either. But like a Rolla is not anything age offensive.
And the beat sounds like a euphemism, if you ask me.
But hey, I'll tell you
No,
why
no one eats
Rollas
Rollas.
are
Here's
important.
the last Rollas I even saw in the store were dusty. If that tells you anything.
Dusty.
I will tell you why Rollas are culturally irrelevant, because it's a special edition when McDonald's makes a Rolla McFlurry.
I do like the Rolo McFlurry.
Thank you.
That's solid.
But Rolos are not worth the effort. First off, you have to pinch them. You have to pinch off the roll. You have a little fingernail. You got to pinch off the
roll.
last one.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like
wrapping is totally awful.
It's like a podunk Pez dispenser. You got to
Yeah.
you got to squeeze the head off the dandelion, and then you got to unwrap it to get the gold wrapping off of it.
Not anymore. You
Really?
could get you could get the zippable packets of Rollas, and they're totally nude. They are not. You do not have to unwrap them.
Plus, even when my teeth were at their strongest, I never liked the ratio of chew time versus enjoyment from the flavor. You
I
first
see
off,
the equations appearing above your head on this.
you can have one Rolo per half hour. It takes that long to chew them and get it all out of your teeth.
It's not a milk dud. It's just because Rollas are pretty soft. They're
Yeah, but it's not like it's. I mean, it's still pretty chewy.
The chocolate to caramel ratio is wrong.
Yes. That's why on bullseyes, I throw away the caramel and just suck out the middle part and just eat that. Throw away the bullseye.
The caramel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The caramel was the worst part of that.
Oh.
The old the hardened Elmer's glue in the middle of it is where it's at.
I know. I eat those like I eat Oreos. You eat the center first, and then the caramel.
Rollas and Oreos.
You got to poke your
caramel.
you got to poke your tongue. You got to
For those of you not on video, you're missing a treat.
You got to poke out the glue knot with your tongue.
Glue knot.
Do you know what we said?
I've been known to get a pack of the bullseyes back in the day and poke each glue knot out, and then
tongue punching these bullseyes, trying to get that
mold it up, and you make one glue knot ball, and you eat that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you poked all the glue knots out and took the caramel and punched it back together and left it for someone else.
Oh no, but because I said I don't like to chew
that would
forever.
be a major foul. Right
Yeah.
There. That was the best. I agree. That was the best part. But to totally throw away the caramel.
Is there anything you can think of that tastes the same as that center part of a bullseye? It doesn't taste like other creme on candies and cookies or anything like that.
It's not cream. It's sugar.
But it's like sugar. It's like cream sugar. It's like,
actually,
I'm
going to throw this out. I actually think Caramello could learn a thing or two from Rollas, because have you ever bit into a Caramello and it just oozes out like a gunshot wound? The caramel starts dripping and everything. So if it was a little bit more firm inside like a Rolla, it would be much more enjoyable eating.
Maybe so. The only thing I can say compares to a bullseye is a cowtail.
Well, I mean,
bovine external anal meatus.
The cowtail is the relative to the bullseye.
It's the other end.
The other end. No, I mean, I think they're probably made by the same.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah,
company.
Until they started getting all fancy with the bullseyes, and now you can get Oreo flavored bullseyes.
That's ridiculous.
You can get 3 kinds of cowtails. There's the
That's
chocolate.
I'm sorry.
Actually, there's 4.
I meant cowtails. That's what I meant. You can
original, chocolate, cookies and cream, and there's a strawberry cowtail.
Yeah, I met cowtail, the Oreo cowtail. Yeah.
All right.
Kaleidoscope.
So Getz makes the caramel creams, aka bullseyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And according to them, chewy caramel with a creme center.
Yeah, but like you said, that creme is more like a congealed sugar glob.
Congealed sugar. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Exact words. And yes,
Just
they
a
do
hint
make
of vanilla.
they make cowtails as well. They're in the same picture.
Are they?
On their
Nice.
website?
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Number 7. We've all been here. Standing there while two people talk about something you know nothing about. What is the thing? What do you do?
I think my wife gets exposed to that a lot. Not being a teacher, and then two teachers start talking about education
and walking through Eastgate Mall with you.
Right.
Here's what I do.
Yeah. That is the face that Charlie and So I Married an Axe Murderer had when Rose kicked him in the nuts. Isn't it?
That's also my face if I get kicked in the nuts. But no, you just got to stand there. Riley calls it my Kermit smile. My daughter does. You just got to smile. You got to be careful, because if you do the nod, then people think they're liable to try to bring you into the conversation. Like, oh yeah, Todd. No, I mean, like, look at that. But if you just try it next time, it works.
Oh man.
Number 8. When you think someone waves at you and you wave back, but they're waving at someone behind you. That is, we've all done that.
That is the worst.
Oh, that is the worst.
If it happens at work, you can usually like make a joke, like, "Oh, I thought you were." It's when it happens in public is when it's really embarrassing.
Especially when you get it's the non-verbal gesture smackdown that they ain't talking about you. The old.
Yeah. As fellow educators, and Aric, maybe this wouldn't happen as much now in your position, and maybe it doesn't happen with older kids, but it happens a lot. That happens a lot in the hallways where kids will be waving to me, and I'll think they're saying, it's like a teacher they had the year before or something. It might be a student I didn't have, but I remember seeing in the hallway or whatever, and they'll wave, and I'll think they're waving to me, and then come to find out their teacher from the previous years, like right behind me or something.
And usually kids that age will say, "No, not you, them."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, being the principal, they're always waving at me.
Well, yeah.
I don't get that.
Well, yeah. I just want to say there's no confusing. They know their principal last year is the same principal this year. So yeah, that number 9. Walking through a doorway. This happens to me weekly. It happens in our kitchen. Walking through the doorway only to catch your clothes on the handle and have it sling you backwards.
Oh. Or if it catches the belt loop, and there's that very panicky moment that you're afraid you won't be able to free yourself, and you're like, your hip, your ratio, your balance is thrown off by like a quarter of an inch. So there's that brief thing where you feel like you're falling, but you're stuck.
Yeah.
You don't want to tear the clothing. You don't want to wreck the door.
Yeah,
it's just a big old miasma of crap.
Celia griped at me when we built this house. I wanted a certain kind of handle on the cabinetry.
Look at that. Did you know? Before he even said it.
And it catches. It's pretty easy to catch your clothing on anytime you're walking through the kitchen. But I'll one up that. And I don't remember this happening so much when I was younger. And this may be TMI for people, and I apologize if I paint some pictures in your head that you can't scrub out. But what's worse is putting on your underwear out of the shower, and you get one foot all caught up in the underwear, and you have that panic moment where you literally are falling forward and you're getting ready to on the corner of the vanity,
and you're falling in slow motion.
Yeah, because everybody I assume does the same thing. You try to put your underwear on when you're still too wet to put your underwear on.
Oh, and then it rolls up on the sides.
No,
it's
I
not
am fully dry when I put my underwear on. I'm not putting my underwear on in the bathroom.
Well, I will say it's not even just when you're still too wet. It's when it's always your big toe. You hook your big toe on the edge of your underwear leg hole. It'll damn near trip you up and make you roll over.
Yes.
Have you ever? I had lab tables last year in my classroom. That whenever I walked around this one particular one, I would always catch my thigh on it, and it looked like I was kicked by a mule for most of the year because I had that big old thigh bruise.
Yeah, and you hear about like elderly people and stuff falling a lot and hurting themselves a lot. If they were being honest with those numbers, I bet 70% of those are when they're trying to put on their underwear.
I wouldn't doubt that a bit. Wouldn't doubt it a bit.
Oh yeah, Brady, I have my desk at work. I don't know what it is. I'm a little shorter, so it's a little higher up on my leg when I hit it, but I always nail myself. At least once a month I hit myself on that thing.
Yep.
So Celia made the comment. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
She said Eric's popular. No, I'm not. The principal is popular. I'm not. Anyone who's in that role is just popular.
The idea of Aric is popular.
No, I mean just
in principle, you're popular.
Principal at the elementary school is just a rock star. It doesn't matter who it is. They're waving and stuff. But
let's see. Oh, well, okay, that was that one. There's a bunch of text between it. Number 10. I'm going to go off on this one. When you're walking on a sidewalk with two other friends. Now, I'll go as far as to say it doesn't matter. The number of friends, it doesn't matter. When you're walking on a sidewalk, I'll read this, though, what it says. When you're walking on a sidewalk with two other friends and you're the person that doesn't fit, so you have to stay behind them. So I don't think it matters the amount of people. I think there's sidewalk etiquette. And I'd be damned if most people don't have it.
Just like road etiquette. I mean, really.
Well, yeah.
No one has that either. But
as a smaller person, I'm going to go ahead and say it. People are bigger than me. They think I should get off the sidewalk when they're coming towards me. The problem with that is they see me physically. They don't understand my mentality. And that is I'm not moving out of the way for anybody. So I'll hold my ground.
Oh, I totally would expect that from someone who's not tall.
No. And I would totally expect that from someone who's tall. You don't own that sidewalk. You gorilla, get off the damn sidewalk.
I realize all of our responses are going to fall in the 3 C's of cranky person. It's ranked in 3 levels.
No.
There's old coot status.
Here's the thing.
There is codger status and curmudgeon, the 3 C's.
Here's the thing. I guess maybe I didn't describe that enough. I'm not talking if there's no room on the sidewalk, somebody does have to get off the sidewalk. I get that. I'm talking when there is room on the sidewalk and some swollen ass who won't put his hands down to his sides wants to walk down the sidewalk and expect me to step off the curb.
Are you calling me fat?
No, I don't mean like arms down to the side, like they walk like the puffed out chest with their arms,
like that, like they're airing out their pits.
Yeah, like they're like circa 1995, and they're in Georgetown with shorts and no shirt on, walking around.
Walks like the skipper in the Gilligan's Island cartoon.
Aric Fiscus, I know you are my friend because I just about flippin' said that as a deep dive.
Or Vince McMahon in that meme.
Here's the thing, it still goes on.
That makes me laugh every time I see it.
It still goes on. I'm at OU the other day. We're dropping Ethan off, and I see a guy walking, and I told Ethan, I said, I give that guy $100 if he can touch his arms down to his hips. He was not that big, but he was walking. He was taking up 4 feet of space, trying to look imposing, expecting other people to get out of his way, and he's walking down the sidewalk. That's ridiculous.
He's walking down the sidewalk and he's making his pec stands like boom, 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 boom.
No, he didn't have pecs. He didn't have near what he thought he had. He just, I mean, it's just, again, it's just something about I've said it before. I just saw a post, a Facebook post that came up. You hear a lot about small man syndrome, little man syndrome. There's a giant meathead syndrome, way more prevalent out there than small man syndrome.
No, I'm thinking the guy at OU just looked at you and said, hey, well, watch me get this old asshole out of the way.
No, it was a dad. It wasn't a kid. It was a dad.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
No, yeah, he was probably my
I
age.
thought some college kid. Yeah.
No, but I think what this is talking about is just how awkward it is if you have to be the one that gets behind everybody else on the sidewalk. I don't find a problem with that. We're all going to the same place. It doesn't matter if you get in there before I do. That doesn't bother me. I'm trying to read up on the.
Hello, Gary. Circa 6:30 p.m. Or are you talking about not circa 1995, circa 6:30? Like you see this guy all the time. Hello, John.
John.
Gary. Or flow. You believe you use your card as you drive. Keep it to the right. That is true, but then you get these people who are slow and they're stopping and they're just oblivious to the world around them. We talked about that before. Yeah.
At the risk of royally getting canceled.
Not only canceled, but royally canceled.
Royally canceled. Scooter etiquette at Kroger. The riding scooters.
You say scooter, okay.
Yeah, the rascals,
Rascals.
Well, that's what they're called, aren't they?
Speaking of 1995.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I've seen some really.
I got my rascal. Remember that commercial?
Yeah. But anyway, there is some real questionable aisle etiquette when the rascal's involved, because and you try to be a little bit patient because you realize that if somebody needs a rascal, they might be physically compromised. What's the word, coordination wise. But dadgummit, when I had my foot surgery, I had to rascal for a couple weeks before it's difficult. I about ran somebody over. I went about right.
So then, are you team rascal here? I thought you were getting ready to razzle dazzle the rascal users, but now you're not.
I'm ripping the etiquette because I was really aware at that moment. Oh crap, man! It's like I'm gonna have to make sure that I provide some space.
All right. So, Brady, I don't mean to cut you off. I swear I didn't know because I said,
yes.
Speaking of 1995, look on the screen here at the video. The Rascal electric scooter commercial. See what year that is? 1995.
Wow. Is that B. By God Arthur on that thing?
Yes.
Or John Bon Jovi.
Same person. Did you see that same meme, Brady, about John Bon Jovi looks like the fifth Golden Girl or whatever?
Do you have trouble getting around?
Oh.
Call this number now for a free catalog on Rascal electric scooters from Electric Mobility. A Rascal is affordable, portable, and easy to use. You can have fun indoors or in the great outdoors.
Off-road rascaling.
No obligation in-home demonstration.
There's going to be a leaf wrap up in that wheel and flip that dude face forward.
421-2000 for a free demonstration.
It's going to be an acorn there, and it just that nut will get lodged in its front tire.
Oh, he's a rascal getting lodged in that front tire, if you know what I mean. At that age.
Oh,
yeah, you got to watch that. Make sure the girdle's on.
So listen, I got to be honest. In all transparency, those people looked a hell of a lot older in 1995 than they do now to me.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Fact.
I'm only a couple years off from that, I believe. And by the way, if you happen to be a listener that rides a Rascal, more power to you. We have no problem with
literally.
It. Yes.
No, not at all.
More power to you.
More power to your Rascal.
Soup that bad boy up.
Continue.
All right. Well, I was gonna comment on John's about the shopping cart etiquette. I agree. Now I will say this. The maintenance program for stores that have shopping carts is not too strong because 9 out of 10 buggies have terrible wheel control. You know what I mean? Like, so it's hard to stay in your lane. It's hard to go in a straight line. It's hard to turn one direction.
Oh, that's the worst when it will not turn.
Oh,
and you have to do a big old tractor turn and you ain't going to make it. You're going to go right into the standing display of something.
Oh yeah. You do that and those wheels go and like you leave like rubber divots behind on the wall, on the floor.
All right. Do you know why that is? It's because of all the unnecessary miles put on these grocery carts of people that won't put the daggone things back where they belong.
Which level of C is that, Aric?
Curmudgeon.
Aric and I,
or curmudgeon.
Aric and I share in that. There is nothing. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is the pulling up. You have a primo parking spot you're getting ready to pull into, And one of two things. It's either one of those damn little tiny cars. What are those things called? Those little
smart cars.
Smart cars
Smart
things.
gears.
Yeah, schmear gears. Or somebody's got a buggy right at the end of it. Walk. A lot of times it'll be right beside a buggy dock.
I kid you not. I have been in a driving rainstorm and I have taken my cart back to the corral.
Uphill both ways.
Every time. And not only that, when I pull into a parking spot that has a buggy in it, I will take the buggy inside the store.
Aric, you're one of the first buggy victims I can remember.
Uh-huh.
I remember you having a new car. I would have probably been late teens, something like that. I think we were going to a softball tournament. And I remember you had was it a light blue or a silvery blue?
It was a Sunbird.
I don't know if something. Anyway, you showed up and it had a ding in it.
Yeah.
And it was a buggy had flown across the parking lot and gotten you.
I learned a few words that day.
Probably explains my angst to this day.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever been in a grocery store or something parking lot when it's windy and you see one of those things shooting across the parking?
Oh,
I mean,
that'd kill him in.
Yeah. Number 11.
Now, John has a comment about
sorry.
the grocery cart. I will go through multiple carts in the rack before finding one that has 4 good wheels and no noises. My kids would roll their eyes. Dad is old as dirt.
Well, you know what, John? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you expect you're already out and about and having to grocery shop. You should be comfortable.
Well,
there's no reason for that.
You know, if the kids have an issue with it, let them push the broken cart around.
Yeah.
They could be the ones who have the cart oiled. They could do it.
Number 11, when you swallow water wrong and it turns to a coughing fit. Yeah.
2 days ago.
Is that something that happens with old age that no one ever told me about? Because it happens to me constantly.
And not only that, you have the coughing fit for about 5 minutes. And then once you stop with the coughing fit, you can't talk. It's like, you're done.
You try to talk like you're on mute. You're like, and nothing comes out.
And I think what's worse than that is when you get the out of nowhere, every swaller there's like a little itch and it's making you it's making you cough. So then your eyes are turning beet red and you're crying. and it never fails. And this is another thing I pride myself on. If I see that happening to someone, I don't point out to them that their face is beet red and their eyes are. I just let it go. I mean, obviously, if they're in trouble, I would help them. But if I just let it go, but it never fails. Somebody's like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong? What's wrong? Your face is red." No shit, my face is red. I'm choking on something.
I'm choking on my sputum.
I'm choking on a particle of seasoning from lunch I had 3 hours ago that somehow dislodged from my tooth and now is in my throat. I don't know what's happening, but leave me alone.
There's a sesame seed on my uvula that's stuck.
I think it maybe has to do with softening of the muscles in the gullet, maybe.
As you get older, you mean?
Yes, as you get older.
Yeah.
You're not as efficient of a swallower as you used to be.
Oh, there's always the other option. Number 12. You ever clogged a toilet in somewhere that wasn't your house? That is a poorly written sentence, but I like it. You ever clogged a toilet in somewhere that wasn't your house? I don't think the "in" needs to be there. You ever clogged a toilet somewhere other than your house?
How do you deal with that situation? I believe it depends on, is it a business or is it someone else's house?
If it's a business,
someone
you
else's
just
house,
leave it.
just leave it. And isn't that the worst thing ever when you walk into a stall and someone has left that?
Okay, hang on. I full disclosure, the names shall remain nameless, and I promise it was not me. But there is a friend who had a new love interest in high school, and he visited this love interest's home. And he goes in for a quick drop, and like he has to use the restroom, like bad. And he clogged the toilet because not any fault of his, but they had poor plumbing. The kind of that just went.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, his description where he was watching it fill up. and it got like an eighth of an inch from the overflow mark, and it starts going back down. And him describing his panic, and then the utter relief that comes, and there's not going to be an embarrassing catastrophe. But when he was telling me this story originally, I was there at that moment. I could feel the awkward.
Yeah. Well, I always hated it, and I don't mean to knock anyone for their situation in life, but I always hated it when I was a kid and you go somewhere and the plumbing was just was subpar. I mean, like when when a toilet won't even drown a wood tick. I mean, like you got problems. When it won't even get enough, you know what I'm talking about? If you throw a tick in the toilet and it won't even swirl and make the tick disappear, how's that going to react to your?
Do you remember places? Back in your childhood where they would post a little note that like all toilet tissue in garbage can, please.
Well, I'm going to say this. And if Say is still listening, she's probably wanting to just light me up here because we have a bathroom in our basement that is a number one only bathroom. Let me preface it with this. It's not that it can't handle a number two, and it's not that it's not done well.
Your number two.
You can't handle the two.
No, it's not that it's not done well. It's just that if there ever were a clogging, it would cause a lot of problems being a basement toilet, stuff like that. So it's not a matter of it's not efficient enough to do it. It's just like, why risk it? And as a family, we don't risk it. So therefore, as a visitor, you're not going to. Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
So okay, question on that note: you're in that situation, toilet clogged. You flush, get the eighth of an inch to the top, and it settles back in. Do you flush again? With the hopes
it's going to do the same thing.
You got to read the room.
Maybe.
What?
Well, hopefully no one is in the room but you.
Yeah, well, you got to read the room. Meaning, you got to read the little room. And what's the water doing? What's the swirl doing? Do you see escape routes? Do you see emergency supplies? Like paper towels or a plunger or something. You got to read your room before you make that decision.
I think you let it settle for about 2-3 minutes because sometimes things will decompose in the water and then it'll exit.
But then there's that awkwardness if you're in there an extra 2 or 3 minutes, the person's wondering what's going on, and that's embarrassing.
I think they already know what you're doing in there.
Yeah, it all depends on the chopping ratio. If there's a lot being chopped, you're probably good to try another flush.
Chopped.
Oh my gosh!
But I don't know.
40 episodes. This could be the conversation.
The what episode?
We've talked 5 minutes on how to deal with a toilet clog.
Yeah, this should have been an episode number 2.
And we have spit. Yes. Oh,
your face is red. What's wrong with you?
Exactly. All right. We have about 7 minutes before we get to the 1 hour mark, which we'll turn over to the game. So I'll try to get through a couple more. We've talked about this. I believe this was on the one that Brady.
Let me put this comment up for John first. How about the bowl is clogged by the person before you and they don't fix it, then you go and get blamed.
Oh,
John, that's why you
could be those hidden clogs. It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes
that's why you have to walk out of the bathroom and just, if anybody happens to be looking, you got to tell them right away. I'll go ahead. That was not me. I just peed.
So sometimes you'll see a little lilt of paper down in the catch basin there. And
yeah, it's like a tongue. It's like the toilet tongue.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's clogged and you don't know it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Aric. It's very subtle. It's subtly clogged. All right. Number 13. Brady, what I was saying before is this was on Brady's list, I know, on the episode he did. Having happy birthday sung to you. Now, let me go back to what I said. If I'm beside two people having a conversation about something I know nothing about, this is what I do when I'm having happy birthday sung to me.
No, I can see a variation between that and the Kermit face. That has a little bit more curl up. There's a little bit more.
Either
smile.
way, the only thing you can do is stand there and smile and look stupid. Yeah. We need to think of something right now. We need to fix. I want to tell you something. What is that?
Sorry.
Jason's entering the room.
No, I'm trying to find that face.
Oh, so we need to think of something tonight that could be universally used to help people in that moment of discomfort when people are singing happy birthday to them. So what we could surely put our heads together. We're all educated men here. It might not seem that way to people listening, but we are all educated men.
It will be a subtle hand gesture involving your face. Like,
I don't think so, because no matter what you're doing, if you don't figure out a way to, you're going to be feeling awkward with your hands.
yeah.
How about this? Here's something that's never been done before. What if you just jump in and start singing as well?
Oh, turn the tables. That would cause total chaos.
Yeah. But when you do that, do you happy birthday to me? Like, do you do that, or do you point back to them, to you? What do you do there?
All yous guys.
All you, all
Yuns.
Aliens.
Yuns.
I don't know, because I don't think I can spontaneously come up with an answer to this. It's just gonna have to still be.
Oh no! It's
like a mongoose.
A meerkat.
Oh, wait a minute. Wrong.
Brady, it's just me. Oh.
Oh, that's it. Oh my.
Yeah, just
Is that it?
Yeah, there's an awkward silence.
No, there's no worse feeling than that.
Again, you audio listeners are just missing it here.
Yeah. I do think that there's something to be said if you just join in. If you let them know that it's not bothering you. I think part of the reason why restaurants like to do that is because they want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
By now, the word has gotten out. No one enjoys it. I've never known anyone to say, boy, I hope they sing happy birthday to me tonight at the restaurant.
My wife enjoys it.
Really?
She does.
I will go as far as to say my wife doesn't mind it. But I don't know that I would say she enjoys it. She doesn't get embarrassed. There's no like embarrassment or anything like that with my wife, but I don't know that she seeks it.
So John's solution is just continuously drink a beer until the song's over.
Like this.
Oh man.
John Esper. Hello, John.
Or like this.
John, everybody listening, if you're listening closely, John Esper, Vinyl Countdown super fan from Columbus. It's his birthday on Thursday, guys. So wish him a happy birthday.
Oh,
Happy early birthday, John. How is this for the happy birthday? But how wholesome is our listening audience when I had scouts? Maxwell, our loyal listener, he just heard about his running into the Gray Clan. Very cool, very cool.
Nice. Good to see
Maxwell's going to be an
scouts.
Eagle Scout.
That's right.
Yes.
Maxwell will be the most decorated of our earbuds.
Yes.
They don't talk about this at Eagle Scouts. Number 14, probably the last one for the night. Watching a sex scene with your parents.
Ooh.
You've been there.
Ooh.
And we want to be clear. This is like you're watching a movie with your parents. Maybe went out to a movie, and there's a scene where you're kind of, I mean, when watching it with my parents, you could feel my dad getting angry that there is like that. That nonsense is on the screen.
Angry at the movie, angry at you for being in there, angry at himself for letting you be in there.
Yes.
Brady, didn't your mom take you to see Porky's?
No, she took me to see Fast Times at Ridgemont High accidentally.
You were exposed to Phoebe Cates exiting the
Phoebe
pool with
Cates?
your mother.
You talk about no selling something. Do you know how hard it is to try to act horrified and disgusted?
Oh, I know how hard it is.
So to speak.
But yeah,
So does Judge Reinhold.
yeah.
Right.
It's just one of those things that, like, no, my dad was just very uptight about his movie purity. He did not want profanity. He did not want things that were not child appropriate.
Tell the story about the Mouseman when that message came up before the TV movie that said it had been modified.
Modified? I want to watch a normal movie. Why did they modify the movie? Because he didn't know it was talking about the screen settings, and he was just angry.
So, go ahead, Aric.
I will extend this not only with your parents, watching those sorts of scenes with your children.
Yes. Yeah.
It
Doesn't
doesn't-
bother saying at all. Yeah. Yeah.
I
As a matter
experienced
of
this.
fact, Brady. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Fast Times. We moved in the other day. We moved Ethan into college, and I posted on Facebook that everything I learned about college moving day I learned from Revenge of the Nerds, and it was the scene where they're carrying the chest, like the two of them are carrying the chest across campus.
Yeah.
By the way, we did see something similar to that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, you
So
should have
anyway,
videoed that.
I posted that, and Ethan later on said something about like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that movie," and I'm like, "What? You've seen Revenge of the Nerds?"
Yeah.
Without
It
me?
says like Todd, he's 18 years old. I'm like, still.
Well, the one that I experienced this a couple years ago with Reagan, who's now, but she was probably about 14 at the time, 15 tops, and I said, "Let's watch 16 Candles." Great,
You had
that was
forgotten.
awkward.
You had forgotten.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was
And that's
stuff.
mild compared to a lot of movies back then. I mean,
Uh-huh.
well,
and oh yeah, not one. It changes your perspective, and you don't realize all those words and scenes were in there until you're watching it with a kid or a parent.
well, there's two camps in this, and I am proof that you and your spouse can have two completely. You can be in different camps and still somehow manage a 23-year marriage, because I was always very strict on what I let the kids watch, because that's the household I grew up in. She was never strict about what the kids watched because that's the household she grew up in. There's not a right or wrong. It's not a judgment thing. But I'm just very uncomfortable with those things being, and I'm no prude. I mean, you guys can watch the podcast and know I'm not a prude. But I'm just, first off, I think kids should have to sneak and watch it like I had to when I was a kid.
They need to be in the Freedom Challenge.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
we did.
Kids should have to turn to HBO that you haven't subscribed to and have to watch it between the wavy screens.
Yeah.
Like I had to
Or
Yeah.
on TV.
on TV. Yes. Todd may be too young for that one.
So what I'm wondering is if Mrs. Liming is listening, and Lord knows I love me some Mrs. Liming, but I have to wonder, Brady, did you talk poor Mrs. Liming into taking you to see
Story
Fast
itself.
Times at Ridgemont High at the theater?
My dad wanted to go see Incheon, which was a Korean War movie about Douglas MacArthur. My mom and I had no interest in watching Incheon. So I was like, oh, and just from the trailers on TV, it's like, oh, that looks like it's funny. And
The
not
Mouseman
realizing,
was there too.
no, well, Mouseman was watching Incheon. We
Oh,
went to
gotcha.
another theater to watch the other feature,
I-
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I can't imagine what would have ensued had the Mouseman been in Fast Times at Ridgemont.
Oh. Oh my gosh. He would have drugged the usher out by the scruff of his neck for letting such filth up there.
So how old were you in this, Brady? How old were you when this happened?
6th grade.
6th grade. So you're what, 14, 13?
12.
12. I had to count down. I had to pull Willie Nelson guitar solo there. Bam, 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 bam. There it is. There's the right note. So what happens? Does your mom cover your eyes? Do you?
I sat motionless. And she
Did you
squirmed.
excuse yourself? Did you like leave? Like, were you embarrassed and had to leave? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have been.
No, I sat there,
What?
and then I would look over, and she's going.
she's thinking, what do I do about this here?
Yeah, we were living in the country of uncomfortabilia. It was. Yeah.
Oh my
That's what I was
goodness.
going to ask her. Were you giving a side eye glance?
Oh, major. Well, it wasn't my fault. This wasn't like a scheme thing. I heard this.
It was your fault
Oh,
because
well-
you should have removed your mother from that uncomfortable situation and said, Mom, let's leave.
Yeah.
I should
And I
not
said,
be
but Mom,
watching
it's Phoebe
this."
Cates.
It's Phoebe's Kate's. You
Yes.
know, I think that's a tough situation because, well, first off, let me ask you this: what bothered her more, the language or the visual?
I think it was how they used to say it in guides, thematic elements.
It wasn't the sexual situations,
Well, or the adult situations.
the adult themes.
The adult themes, yeah. It was more than just like the visual nudity. I think it was more of the bad choices and
The themes.
the themes. Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Because growing up in my household, first off, my dad was not a movie person. I think I've told this story many times. My dad is the one known for it. It literally before the movie. You remember how it used to come on and say like world premiere, like
Yeah.
world premiere. It could literally say world premiere. Chuck Griffin in 7355 Staten Road, Sardinia, Ohio. You have never laid eyes on this movie. This is the first time human beings have seen this movie. My dad would say the same thing. I've seen it. That was his thing. I've seen it. So my dad always said, I don't want to say says, he could stand a little nudity. He didn't like the bad language. My mom, it was always like, I can stand a little bad language. I don't want the nudity. So it was always like, you know what I mean?
So you didn't get to watch a movie like that at all.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. But my mom and I remember watching like Benny Hill with my mom.
Oh, yeah.
I had no clue what I was watching. And I think a lot of that, she was wise to the fact that I had no clue what I was watching.
No clip.
You know,
You're watching the slapping of the little bald man's head, and you weren't catching on the double entendres.
Yeah. But how soft have we gotten as a country or not even as a country, where back in the day, it would bring up and say adult themes, sexual situations. Now you go on Netflix and watch a movie and it'll have all the things listed at the top and it'll say like smoking.
Tobacco use,
rudeness,
flashing lights may trigger.
All right. I have a live look at Brady watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High with his mother.
Is that Mrs. Liming or Brady?
Both. You see the resemblance.
Oh man, that has been a versatile picture tonight.
It has.
Well, my mom was one of the hide your eyes. And when you tell a kid to hide their eyes, the one thing they're not going to be doing is hiding their eyes. You would be better off saying, hey, get an eye load of this.
Right.
Get an eyeful.
Because you're not going to see it anymore.
So, Gary, I can handle the drinking scenes as long as there's no smoking.
Oh. Great, Gary.
Missed this comment from John. I don't mind having someone sing happy birthday to me as long as it's not at Texas Roadhouse. So what is about the Texas Roadhouse? Happy birthday?
But John, they have those good rolls, man.
They do have the good rolls.
Ooh, and I learned something the other day. They have great chili.
They do. I had some Texas Roadhouse chili on.
Yeah,
on
it's
Saturday.
very good.
Very good. Yes.
Does it have celery in it?
No, unlike Wendy's. If you're listening, Wendy, get that celery out of your chili.
Like weenies.
Weenies.
All right, gentlemen. So we left off at number 14. So the next time it's my topic, we'll go a few more.
Oh yeah, that's a good topic.
That's
I like
fun.
that. All right. Visit the website www.playitbyearpodcast.com. Find out about our show, order yourself a nice soft T-shirt.
It's soft.
Softest T-shirt you ever had. In my best, who is that? What? Yapple Dapple. Is that who's?
Yapple Dapple.
Yeah, Yapple Dapple.
Well, there is I was telling Brady about this, I think. There is a show on, I think it's on HBO Max, and it's from the Broken Lizard clan, and it's called, anyway, it's about a small town like fire department.
Oh, Tacoma FD.
Tacoma FD. Have you watched it?
Oh, I've watched every single episode of every single season.
Love it. Yeah, I haven't. I'm getting caught up. But what cracks me up is, for whatever reason, out of the blue, if they ever say the word soft, I mean, they speak normally, but then if the word soft comes up, they go, "It's so soft." Like that's the way they say it. It's soft. The alpaca fur is soft. That's the only thing they say that way. That's why I love Broken Lizard.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Sounds more like New York than Tacoma.
Yeah, but they don't have they don't have those accents anytime other than when they say soft.
All right. So again, our game of the evening called Race to Stupid. All right. So the way we're going to do this, I mean, it is basically a
Kyle King rule.
Kyle King rule is in effect, as always.
So a while back, you posted a picture of you and Kyle King.
I did.
And I can't remember, Eric. Did you say in that picture whether you got the down low on the Kyle King rule?
I asked him about it, and he couldn't remember the Kyle King rule. So he just said he gave his blessing to everything being the Kyle King rule.
All right.
So there we go. Thank you, Kyle. All right. So the way we're going to play this is like trivia sorts of things. Got the use box back, huh? I had me some Milo's zero sugar tea in the cup here.
Is it good?
Nice.
Very good. Very
I was
good.
going to say, Eric, you need a fix. You need a game fix.
I do. Have to think about that.
I am out of Tootsie Rolls, Pops.
Are you doing yarms?
I'm going to Yarms.
Yeah.
And just an update, I still can't chew on the right side of my face because I have those
Right
temporary I have those temporary crowns in. So I'm chewing everything on the left side. So I can only enjoy this sucker by means of sucking. I can't actually chew it and chomp it. So
The left-sided sucker.
I have to throw it away after we're done with this episode.
That means it's got marijuana in it.
Rook. Mind if I
Gonna twist me a charms.
mind if I twist a bird, Rook?
So the right side of Todd's skull is out of commission.
Yes.
All right.
I can't get its damn.
Yeah, that's the worst right there with those things.
So you're left with a sucker scarf.
Well,
Circumcise that thing, man.
Oh, Lord, dude.
can't. I got to skin her back. Go on. I'm listening. No, I can do it. Well, here's what you do. Watch
you
this.
can't multitask.
Watch this.
Oh,
Like getting in the shower, baby.
he denuded his sucker.
Did you mean to make the sound effect with your microphone?
No, I hit it. I knuckled it.
You gotta watch that knuckling. All right, so this is just trivia, okay? However, if you don't know the answer to the question, you can ask up to 4 yes or no questions about the answer to the question.
Gotcha.
Okay. So if you get the answer to the question without asking any other questions, you get 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask one question, you get 4 points, so on down the line. Okay.
Yep.
So this gives everyone a chance. It doesn't mean that you necessarily, so we're going to just go back and forth. Everyone gets a question, then they get to ask their succeeding questions if they need to. So Todd, you're not going to be shut out by Brady, who's going to buzz in and
Good. Especially if there are any nautical questions.
yes.
Geography or nautical questions. I'm pretty sure Brady's got map tattoos all over his body somewhere. You just can't see them. They're hidden. You know how tramp stamps? He's got like a map and a he's got some some correspondence. He's got some like
some latitude,
some longitude.
No longitude, and his compass no longer points north.
Sagitude.
It's going south of the equator.
He's a Sagittarius after all. Which is like an old T-Rex. Damn it, listeners, if you don't find humor in that, we can't help you.
We can't help you.
Oh, goodness. All right, Todd.
Here's the thing, that joke could have been made when he was 12.
Well, that's a fact.
At Lake Inoki.
Lake Inoki.
Lake Inoki.
Did I win? Did I win the lots?
You did win the lots. All right. Todd, while having a mental breakdown, what did Britney Spears attack the paparazzi with?
An umbrella.
An umbrella is correct.
God, I hate myself for knowing that.
Ella, A.
I was going to say, Brady's shaking his head yes. Yeah. Todd knows the
Moving
answer.
my hips yeah.
I had no idea of that. Does that make me the normal one?
It does. It makes, yeah. You should not feel ashamed. I feel sad that I knew that.
Yeah, I did too.
Out to a quick 5-0 lead.
She was bald when she did it. That's my next question. Go ahead and give me the points.
She was. I did know that part. I didn't know what she attacked the paparazzi with. All right. So I guess we didn't really establish what number we're playing to here. I mean,
let's go
35.
There you go.
35. Okay. kind of random. Okay. 35.
Square root of 49.
All right, Brady.
Yeah.
Where on the human skin are you the least sensitive? And not your Sagittarius.
I would like to buy a vowel.
Yeah. Is that a question?
Yeah, I need a hint.
Okay. Well, you have to ask me a yes or no question then.
Oh, okay. I see. Is it above the waist?
No.
Okay.
Ooh. See, I was going to go weenus.
Yeah. I was seriously thinking about that.
Or right here.
Right here.
I've always said of all the piercings, there's what I think I could take.
Does that have a name? The nape of your eyebrow? The nape of your brow?
Nape?
So
below the waist.
Below front or back?
How many points does he deduct every time he asks a question?
Yeah, he deducts 1 point every time he asks a question. Back.
I am going to say the heel.
The heel is correct.
Yeah. Are you kidding? Tell that to Achilles, would you?
Well, the Achilles is not actually the heel.
That's true. It's above
tendon. We're talking about the skin.
Yeah.
All right. So Todd leads 5-3. All right, Todd. What is a somnambulist?
So real quick, if I guess and get it wrong, it's over. It's just that question's done.
You get no points if you guess and get it wrong.
Namby.
I love you, Mamby.
Are you saying a somnambulist?
I'll spell it for you if you want.
Okay. Yeah, please do. Does that count as one of my?
No, it's not a clue.
Okay.
SOMNAMBULIST.
That's helpful because I thought like PSALM nambulist, like somnambulist.
Right.
I have to ask you a question.
A yes or no question if you would like.
Somnambulist. What is a somnambulist? Is it a Is it a person?
A person does this, yes.
Okay. Does it have to do with emotions?
I will say no. I guess I will. I'll do this for both of you. I mean, I will not just say no. I will give you. There could be emotions involved with it, but emotions don't cause it. If that makes sense.
Does it have to do with nature?
No.
What is that? Am I down to 3 points now?
Yeah,
Or is
yeah. That was your third question. So now you're down to 2 points.
Best crack I ever had.
You said SOM, nambulist.
Yes, nambulist.
Nambulist, somnambulist.
Yes.
Somber, some bitch. That's what I was thinking. Like, so is it someone? Is it someone who helps you relax?
No.
Okay.
Last question. You have one more question if you need it.
Oh, that was my answer.
Oh, that was an answer?
Well, but I guess I see what you're saying. I guess I can give 2 answer tries here because
Yeah, I mean you could.
Is it someone who studies clouds?
No.
Okay.
I think I know. Can I? I know
yeah,
it's no
yeah,
point.
no points, but go ahead, Brady.
Is it somebody that's asleep?
A sleepwalker.
Sleep. Okay. Because I knew the root word "som," like insomnia.
Yeah, insomnia.
See, if you'd have said slumbambulist, slumber.
Yeah.
Slum.
All right, Brady.
Yeah.
What is the most popular game app on Facebook? Now, keep in mind, I'm not sure what year this is. I mean, this could be a dated question.
I think I'm going to go ahead and answer because it seems like I've read this. It's like some Guinness Book blurb. Is it Candy Crush?
It is Candy Crush. That's correct.
Yeah.
Brady out to an 8-5 lead. Todd.
I just want to point out that my hands are incredibly sticky right now, so I'm as uncomfortable as I can be.
Brady would be going into a full-on.
Oh, no, I think I might be worse than Brady with that. I cannot stand things on my hands, stickiness on my neck.
You do not eat donuts with a napkin.
True, but I have learned about myself as I've gotten older. I would be diagnosed with having a sensory issue if I were in school now because I cannot stand my hands being dirty, sticky,
filthy.
If anything. And right now, this charm sucker. The problem was when I drugged that wrapper all the way down the stick, I got residue.
When you scun it back.
It is scun. You can't tell this. It's freshly scun, but there is literally residue from here to here. So nowhere I can get a hold of it is there not stickiness. As a matter of fact, I'm throwing it in the damn garbage.
I was going to say, again, the ultimate measure of not wanting a sticky hand is eating a donut with a napkin.
Well, I'll say this: I do not eat it with a napkin, but Celia will tell you this if she told me she was having some technical difficulties, so I don't think she's still on. But I promise you, I use more napkins than anybody you've ever seen when I eat a meal. I literally wipe my hands off and waste a napkin after every bite, typically. But here's the thing: here's the difference. Brady's been this way since we've known him, right?
True.
I just learned as I get older, I'm this way, so it's getting worse as I get older.
Maybe I rubbed off on you. All right, next.
Todd.
How long can he hold it? Oh.
Let's have a staring contest.
Oh, goodness.
All right, Todd. What famous document begins with... No, wait a minute. This is Brady's question, isn't it? Yeah, you just had the question. All right, Brady. Which famous document begins with when in the course of human events?
The Declaration of Independence.
The Magna Cum Laude.
Declaration of Independence is correct.
Yes, I actually knew that. Damn it.
All right, Todd. The medulla oblongata is found
They
where?
got all them teeth and they ain't got no toothbrush.
The medulla oblongata is found where?
In the brain.
In the brain is correct.
How many points did Brady get in that last one? He had 3. Now he has he has.
Got 2 5-pointers in a row.
Who did?
Brady did.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He did.
Damn it.
All right, Brady.
Yeah.
Alexei Leonov. Leonov. Alexei Leonov. And that's spelled Alex. Let me try it again. Aleksei Leonov. Alexei Leonov is famous for what?
Oh, I should know. I'll know this, but I'm gonna have to ask a question. Is it sports related?
No.
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 Is it a pop culture fame?
No.
Is it recent?
No. Well, I mean, I guess recent is relative. I mean, what do you call recent?
The last 10 years.
No.
Recent peasant.
Recent. No.
Okay, I am going to take a deep dive stab and just guess.
Okay.
Is that Vladimir Lenin's real name?
It is not.
Okay.
Alexei Leonov is famous for the fact that he took the first spacewalk. We always hear about, Yuri Andropov.
Yeah. He was
But,
a cosmonaut.
Yes, a cosmonaut. All right, Todd.
Yeah.
Where is the hottest inhabited place on Earth?
My bedroom, yeah.
Nicely done.
Oh,
Give me the points.
too bad Celia's
God.
having technical difficulties.
It is. I don't know. Let's see. Is it near the equator?
Yeah.
Mock. Yeah.
Man, that was a total promotion. That
just gonna
was
say,
major obvious.
The equator. Like I don't know. Like if I don't know how to get specific. That's my answer.
It is near the equator. No.
I think
I
I
know.
know.
Like, so I want
All right. I will give you this part. We're looking for a country.
Okay.
Everybody knows geography is my strength.
Your strength. All right. So there's this ad on the radio. I do football and basketball games, and last year had an ad from the live or the Great Oaks Career campuses, and the guy doing the voiceover says, "Live up to your strengths." What is strength? What is
That's
that?
horrible.
Now the guy they have doing the voiceover this year says it correctly. Strength.
I've heard that done before. And I don't know if that is people trying to be so proper that they overpronounce.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Well, I'll give you another example of that, and I won't say what station it is, but the guy doing the voiceover says, "Congratulations."
Now,
congratulations does not have a D in it. I would just leave it at that.
I will say this: like I've seen that little play on words used for like on graduation cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's the only place it belongs.
Right. Right. An obvious misspelling. But go ahead.
My first is it? Did I already ask a question?
You said, "Is it near the equator?"
Oh,
and
yeah.
I said, "Yeah."
That doesn't seem like that should be a question. Oh my gosh! Well, it depends. Is it in Asia?
No.
Well, I was trying to think, like, because near the equator is relevant. Like, Florida is closer to the equator than Ohio, so that's what I was trying to think. Like,
correct,
man. See, I don't know because I don't know.
I think very little of Asia is near the equator, though.
Well, I know, but I meant Southern Asia is closer to the equator than Northern Asia. I was trying to think of some because I have a feeling it's not like something that like it would be obvious, but I have no idea. This is not my strength, so I'm going to pass or I'm going to say no.
Is it Iraq?
Strength. It is not.
See, my next question was going to be in the Middle East, but I realized that if I ask all my questions, I'll get 0 points anyway. So,
Ethiopia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think the Iraq thing might be like one of the highest recorded temperatures on a certain day, but I remember Iraq being in there and it surprised me, but wrong stat.
All right, Brady.
Yeah.
In France, where is it illegal to land a flying saucer?
I hear there's a place in France where the naked ladies dance. I hear there's a hole in the wall where you can see it all.
There once was a man from Fincastle.
Don't you guys remember there's a place in France where the naked ladies dance. There's a hole in the wall where the men can see it all. I get you canceled for singing now, so
yeah.
Good riddance, fellas. I'm out.
Third time you've been canceled tonight.
I'm trying to. Okay. Is it on a national landmark?
No.
Okay. Is it in a particular city?
No.
Does it have anything to do with agriculture?
Yes.
A vineyard.
A vineyard is correct.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
What the French are famous for? Wine in reverse.
I'll get you 2 points.
Yes.
15 to 10.
I don't think we're going to make it to 35.
I don't think we are.
20?
20.
Well, Brady could win on the next question. It was 20. Let's say 25.
Okay.
All right. So, Todd, which Avenger other than Captain America was able to pick up Thor's hammer in the Marvel movies?
Incredible Hulk.
No.
Wow. Man, I was so confident on that. And I'm not even a fanboy.
Yeah. Vision.
Are you sure the Incredible Hulk couldn't?
I just
Yeah.
read the questions and the
It's a
answers.
metaphysical thing.
Brady, are you sure that you know this? Could the Incredible Hulk pick it up?
No, because it has really nothing to about it. It's the whole what do you call it? Supernatural thing where it comes from Asgard, the Norse mythology thing. So it had a kind of like an otherworldly. It's not about strength; it's about purity of heart, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you tell that to Bill Bigsby because he was pretty damn smart.
Brady.
Yeah.
Before rubber erasers, what was used to erase lead pencil marks?
Did it involve sawdust?
No.
That would be famous.
Rules out Noble Hardyman.
Yeah. Is this a naturally occurring substance?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's a natural substance. I mean, it's
Okay. You could go and pick it from a tree or dig it up or from a vine
no,
or like
no,
naturally occurring.
No.
Dragon.
No, I mean, you use natural substances to make it, but I mean,
Okay.
it in and of itself does not occur naturally.
I
guess I'm getting beyond the yes or no questions, but
Well,
go ahead.
let's see. That was a pithy question though. That had some
Pithy.
Is wax involved?
No.
Poetic.
Dang. Is tree sap involved?
No. Last
Isn't
question.
isn't he out of questions?
No, you are out of questions.
I am out of questions, so I got to just make with it.
Yes.
Leaves.
Incorrect. Pieces of bread.
Get out of here.
Bribs. not corn bribs.
Just bribs.
Just Brebs. Sours dough.
Oh, Todd.
What, a tough one? One you know that I'm not going to get?
I don't know. You may get it. You may. Besides looking at their genitals, how can you tell
Yes.
yes. How do you tell the sex of a horse?
By the way, it's looking at your genitals. That wasn't my real answer. That was for comedy value. I don't but so by you can't look at its genitals. So you have to turn a blind eye
Besides,
besides looking at it. So
I
this is
mean,
a secondary.
if you that would be the ringer right there. But
Literally.
if you did not have access to viewing the genitals, how else could you tell?
How could you not have access?
I don't know.
It could be like my autographed portrait of Gene Autry on his horse that I get from my grandmother, where Trigger's genitalia had been airbrushed out circa 1950 because it was impolite to put horse genitalia on a picture.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, Brady. If it was airbrushed out, it was a guy.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
horse.
saying. But
You know what I mean?
True.
Okay, Aric.
Maybe they have one of those horse blankets on.
yeah.
Did the airbrushing go like way down on the poster? Like, was it in like a straight line?
Well, it looked like a Ken doll horse. I mean, there was just you could tell it had been artistically rendered.
Look like
Null and void.
look like a My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Aric, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is it related to size? Overall?
No. Size doesn't matter.
Says the horse.
Says the female horse. She's lying.
No, she's a horse. Slow burn there. Sorry. As in Lion.
Does it?
She says nay.
Nay. Oh my goodness! Is it have to do with hair?
No.
And you said so. No size.
Nope.
Is it have to do with temperament?
No.
Do you know, Brady?
I don't, but I have formulated a guess that
An animal question that Brady doesn't know.
yeah.
If this was a seahorse, he would know it.
Seahorse. Seahorse genitalia is a different thing.
It comes in waves.
So how do you mean that exactly?
That's one of those jokes that I thought was going to be really dumb, and then I realized it was really smart.
It's like a triple entendre.
It comes in waves. Man, I literally everything I thought when you asked this question at the beginning. I am not a horse person. I'm not a horseman. I don't know. I don't even have a guess.
That one you should have said horseman, right?
True. Yeah. Because you're right. Yeah. I don't even have a guess, man. After you shot my questions down, I have no guess.
My guess is ear position.
No.
Okay.
By their teeth.
What?
I'm not kidding at all. I almost asked about teeth, but I didn't really know where that would get me. You know,
Bit.
Bit as in
B-I-T.
Bit in the mouth.
Past tense of bite. See what we're doing here? Yeah.
Yes.
Males have 40 teeth. Females have 36.
Well, that's going to take a pretty darn big investigation. You're going to have to peel back them lips and look, and the gift horse in the mouth. That's not easily identified. I take issue with that question. I thought he just meant by a cursory glance at the horse.
It's easily identified.
Say it was easy. Said,
Yeah.
how can you tell
Okay.
the horse?
Yeah. So it seems like it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I think guessing. I think looking between its legs would probably be the easier.
I think looking at the genitals would be the easier option there.
For those of you who's just joining us, we're talking about horses.
Never look a gift horse between the legs.
As I said, and that probably really didn't help our cause there, Brady.
No.
Never look a gift horse in the genitals.
All right, Brady.
Yes.
Human birth control pills work on what other animal?
I got to stop you a second. Human birth control pill, as opposed to capybara birth control pills. I mean, what? Like, are there other such birth control pills?
Birth control pills meant for humans also will
not
cause
veterinary grade.
birth not to happen or less likely to happen in what other animal?
I'm going to go ahead and bring the heat because
He said
Apes
veterinary grade.
Apes are close to our anatomy and physiology. I'm going to go with that.
All right. Well, I'll give you that. It's primates. So
Well,
chimps,
we're primates.
gorilla,
Yeah.
orangutans.
Put your hands up and let go of the orangutan. And Jay and Silent Bob.
Uh-huh. All right, Brady. 10.
What?
Could be in the barn.
I'm in the
I'm
barn.
getting my ass kicked. Yeah,
Yes, you are.
he's in the barn with a genitalialess horse. He's about to count his teeth.
Todd,
Yes.
who is credited for inventing scissors?
John P. Scissor. Oh.
No.
There's no way. I want to be honest with you. There's no way anybody knows this at all.
No.
Which goes back to the age-old question. So if you have scissors, if you take a pair of scissors and you pull the little screw out of the middle, and do you have individual scissor?
And
then you put them together?
Right scissor like Twix.
Twick.
Or Kit Kats?
Kit's cat.
That might, I mean, they're not left and right Kit's cat, are there?
It's quadrilateral.
I think it depends on how you're holding them.
That's going in the isms, folks.
Man, so who is credited with the invention of scissors?
Yes.
Scissor.
Jeannie, welcome. She says John Esper invented scissors.
Hey, Jeannie.
Which is not correct.
Jeannie is I just want to point out that Jeannie is a fantastic photographer. She takes great pictures.
Could she take a good picture of me?
Yes, she would even take a good picture of you, Aric.
Well,
She fan of Vinyl Countdown as well. Hello, Jeannie. Thank you for joining our podcast. This is our weekly conversation about nothing and everything. Rock, Gary, rock. I saw his comment.
Yes. Which came first, scissors or paper, Gary asked. Yes. Rock.
So I here's the thing, Aric. I want to ask the question, but I honestly don't even know what question to help me. So who is credited with the invention of the scissors? Is it okay? I have a question. Were they also inventors of other popular or well-known items?
Did they create other things? Yes. I will answer it that way.
Were they African American?
No.
I was going to Eli Whitney. I'm glad you stopped me.
Yeah. That would have been a solid guess, though.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Man. Brady, do you know Brady? I mean, like,
I've got a guess, but when I say it's a guess, it's not even an educated guess.
I mean,
it's a Hail Mary.
When you say you have a guess, I mean, is it somebody I would know?
Yeah. Obscure, sort of, but.
Is it a man?
Yes.
Shoot. That's my second question, right? So I'm down to 300. 300.
300.
Or 3, I should say.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. I mean, I'm trying to think of who the guy that invented the stoplight is. But I think he was African American, so that would rule him out.
He was also from Ohio.
Yeah, from Ohio, and I believe he's African American guy from Ohio.
You're correct. You're correct.
So that rules him out. So it wouldn't matter if I remembered his name. I don't even like. I hate not having a guess. So it would be somebody who would. It would be okay. Let me. It would be somebody in the office supply realm.
Mr. 3M.
Mr. Dunlop. I don't know. Shit. I don't know. Sorry.
I've got a guess if he has nothing, but it's
what
Hang on a minute. Let's go to our comments because I just saw where Savannah says she knows. Now, Savannah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, it just popped up. I just saw it.
Well, it didn't pop up on my end.
Well, you need to
wipe
your screen.
I know.
And also, Jeannie says that she can take your picture and make you look totally rad, which, by the way, is a fantastic movie. Rad
is great.
Yes,
Send me an angel.
That sounds rather 80s. I'd have to feather my hair to look rad.
And pop that collar. All right.
Be your trapper keeper.
All right. All right, Brady, what's your guess? And then Savannah can tell you if you're right or not.
I'm going to guess.
Jeannie cheated and looked it up.
The sewing machine guy, Singer.
Isaac Singer. Is that what you're saying?
Singer, Mr.
Do you
Singer.
really know? Is his first name Isaac? Are you right about that? Because here's the thing. Everybody back then was named Harry, Isaac, or Chester. So you have a good guess either way.
I'm pretty confident his name was Isaac. You know, I'm looking at
Okay. Am I right though?
I thought it was Isaiah Singer.
Isaac Singer sewing machine.
Is it him?
No.
Oh,
Can't be. You can't. Here's the thing, dude. You get one crack at this life. You don't get to invent the sewing machine and the scissors.
Can I tell you what my original guess was?
When you find out who this, no,
Mine was Eli Whitney.
no. I mean, when you find out who this person is, I mean, they probably took more than their share of things. Leonardo da Vinci.
Ah,
It's always Leonardo.
It is.
interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. Back then, though, here's the thing. Back then, you were like a scholar, author, doctor, scientist, inventor.
If you were intelligent,
blacksmith,
everything.
Yeah, you had to do everything back then.
Yeah.
All right,
Brady. Stress.
Mm-hmm.
Napoleon Bonaparte was terrified of what kind of animal?
Dogs.
Is that your answer?
Yes.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Todd, do you have a guess?
Napoleon Bonaparte was afraid of what? Is that what the question was?
What kind of animal? Terrified. Not just afraid, terrified.
Bears.
No. Cats.
Huh. He was pretty short.
He really wasn't, though.
I know. As a short man, I know. He didn't have short man syndrome like everybody says he did.
Well, that came about because of some besmirching of him after the fact.
They rewrote the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was probably average height back then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was. All right.
So does it give any explanation? Does it just say cats?
Cats.
Are we talking tabby?
An orange cat. They're always
Bombays.
Feral.
A Manx.
Manx.
A lynx.
Yeah. All right. Todd.
Yes.
In the landscape of allergies.
My specialty.
What food are the most people allergic to?
peanuts.
Incorrect.
Are you shitting me? It has to be peanuts.
I shit you not. Cow milk.
Lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerance.
Lactose intolerance. Yes. All right,
I almost said lactose, but I Jeannie, did you think it was peanuts or red dye?
She said peanuts.
Yes.
And then said she got that
Shellfish would be on my
yeah
list.
Shellfish isn't new.
No, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Brady.
Yes.
We've hit a scoring lull here.
Yes.
What causes the most power outages in the United States?
Does it have to do with lightning?
No.
Does it have to do with trees?
No.
Does it have to do with wind?
No.
Does it have to do with birds?
No.
Crapola.
So you have no more questions.
I got no more questions. Dang it.
This is a tough one. This is a tough
Yeah,
game.
I overshot my question by one. I was about ready to give my guess, but yeah, I'm out.
You blew your load. You're loadless right now.
Prematurely, I might add. Squirrels.
Squirrels.
Pesky squirrels.
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 The pigeons of the forest.
Yes. Jeannie with an answer there. That probably would have been a good one to guess. Vehicles, but no.
I thought it was going to be tree limbs.
Yeah.
Squirrels, here's the thing. We all think squirrels are cute, but they're actually menaces.
They are menaces.
Yes.
Saw a flaming squirrel in the backyard at mom and dad's house. It got into the
when you never mind. I can't even make that joke because that would literally get me canceled right now.
Yes.
I'll text it to you.
We was looking out the back window and saw the smoldering squirrel fall from the line. Like it was pretty scary.
Did you have yourself some squirrel stew at that point?
It was with squirrel gravy from Glory. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
I sent you the text.
We're at an hour 57. Are we still on the 25 here?
Sudden death?
Sudden death.
I'm okay with sudden death.
Sudden death. Yeah.
All right. So here's how we'll do sudden death. Okay. We'll start with Todd. His question.
Yeah.
We'll let him ask a question. Or you can take a guess. If your guess is incorrect, then we go to Brady. He gets to ask a question. If he guesses wrong, then we'll go back to Todd. You can ask a question.
Okay, gotcha.
When you say ask a question, do I have to come up with my own question?
A yes or no question about
Yes or no.
the answer, just like you've been doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So
I thought you meant I had to come up with.
No, I'm going to give you the question. You get a guess.
Okay.
With no questions asked. If you guess wrong, goes to Brady. He gets to ask a question, a yes or no question, then he gets a guess. If he's wrong, it goes back to you. Then you get to ask a yes or no.
Just ask the question.
I got it. I think I got it now.
All right, you got it now. All right,
I was
Todd.
cornfused at first.
Cornfused. What was bubble wrap originally intended to be used for?
Sex.
No.
I was joking. Hang on, Brady. I was joking. We still have to provide humor to the audience.
Gary says good use of the Kyle King rule there.
Gary is always on target. He's always yes.
That's
Gary, you need to be a guest on this show. All right. He's funnier than we are.
He is.
Calm it down, Gary. Settle down, Gary.
Simmer down.
So bubble wrap was originally intended for. Will you repeat that, please?
What was bubble wrap originally intended to be used for?
It's hard not to believe it would be originally used for what it's used for now. But I'm going to say theft prevention.
No.
I am going to say,
You don't want to ask a yes or no question?
does it have to do with shipping?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to guess insulation.
No.
Does it have to do with climate?
No. You can still take a guess, though.
I know. Morse code.
No.
Medical wrapping.
No yes or no question?
No.
No.
Okay.
Does it have to do with the medical world? Does it have to do with medicine? Like
No.
fishing?
No.
Does it have to do with cooking?
No.
Did I already guess flotation?
No, you didn't.
Something for flotation related.
Wait and see.
No. All right. So, in the interest of saving time here,
We'll go to the next question.
well, no, I'll give you a hint. You find it in your house, or some houses. All right. Very good. Very good, Todd.
Does it have to do with pets?
No.
Does it have to do with personal
Hang
hygiene?
on, hang on.
Sorry,
Whoa,
sorry,
whoa,
sorry,
whoa,
sorry.
whoa, whoa, whoa. I still have a guess.
Simmer down. Simmer down.
I'm going to say refrigeration. Like keeping food
Cool.
fresh.
Fresh. No.
Does it have to do with personal hygiene?
No.
Dush.
Bedding. Mattress. Like mattress bedding.
No.
Okay.
All right. Another hint. Could be construed as decoration.
Does it have to do with Christmas?
No.
Window dressing.
No.
Well, he said that. I'm close.
Yeah.
His
Does it have
mustache danced.
does it have to do
Caterpillar.
does it have to do with windows?
No.
'Cause I was gonna furniture cover.
No.
That was a good guess. Because you would know if somebody was sitting on the furniture they weren't supposed to be
Yeah.
sitting on. And you heard the pop, 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 pop.
All right. Another hint. Told you it could be construed as decoration. Can also be construed as combination decoration and preservation. and is an alternative to something else that can be done to preserve a part of the house. I'm telling you, the population of the room has not shrunk at all. I think people are intrigued by this game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to go back over the clues. So it can be preservation, house preservation,
Yes.
Decorative, possibly.
decorative.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with windows. Has nothing to do with Christmas. Preservation. Wall paint.
I'll give it to you.
Oh.
Wallpaper.
Oh, Lord. What kind of Hades would that be? You bump into the wall and pop, 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 pop.
It would also help with theft prevention too. Right?
It would. Or
It would.
If your kids are trying to come home drunk, you bust them.
Drunken.
Yes. Although I will say this, I've removed wallpaper from walls and it's terrible.
Horrible.
Removing that from walls would actually be kind of fun.
It would be.
True.
So I guess that makes our final score 21-20, since that was a winner take all. So Todd, with the judge's decision on the win. Boo. All right, good game, gentlemen. Good game. Good game.
Good game.
No, we went back to the 2-hour mark. We apologize for those listening.
Yes.
But it's good to see new listeners tonight.
Yeah.
Jeannie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, please come back.
Yeah. Give us a follow, by the way. Play It By Ear podcast.
Yes.
Because Jeannie's probably seen this from my page.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeannie, if you just go to Play It By Ear podcast, we do this every week.
Yep. All right. So those of you, anything else for the good of the order, by the way? I
don't think so.
Okay.
Did you still have wetness left in that juice box? There's no way there was any wetness left. Let's hear it.
That was air. Nothing but air.
Hear that? You hear that?
What's in there? There's no juice left in that.
I think it's backwash.
Shish.
Shish. Yes, shish.
It is backwash. I agree with Aric. There's nothing in there but air and spittle. It's
Sputum. Phlegm.
You read my mind.
Phlegma. All right, audio fans of the podcast, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app. And most anywhere you find your audio podcast that comes out Friday morning at 3 a.m. Video-wise, you can also find it on Spotify, which I need to check. I'm going to do that right here and now. I'm going to add Spotify to that because I keep saying that every week. That up again. On video, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube. I'll search us on Play It By Ear podcast on YouTube. Follow our channel there, and also on Twitch. And search Play It By Ear podcast there as well. Social medias, all of our links are on our website, playitbyearpodcast.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagrams. Interact with us via email, admin@playitbyearpodcast.com. You can leave a voice message once again.
Hang on. Guys, here's the thing. I know Jeannie's listening. I see Carrie, by the way. Carrie chimed in.
Oh, did she?
Grade school Carrie, my bestie for like what? How many years, Carrie? 35, 30, 40, probably 40 years. We have not gotten a voicemail in months.
Dog's age.
Months. MUNTS, months.
I would venture to say years.
Maybe even years. So Jeannie, Carrie, Aric, will you explain again how they leave a voicemail? Because I think one of these two ladies.
If you go to our website and there's a link right at the top of the page, leave a voice message. You can click on that. That'll do it. Leave us a voice message. We will add it to the audio podcast. We'll play it here on the video podcast. We'll add it to the audio podcast.
Yeah, and I believe we've offered a free shirt.
A free shirt, yes. And
if you leave a voicemail,
Jeannie and Carrie, you both go to Vinyl Countdown shows. I mean, I'm sure we can get you a shirt easy enough.
Carrie, you ordered a Vinyl Countdown shirt like 2 years ago. We'll get it to you someday. But seriously, we love voicemails. When we first started out, we got voicemails all the time.
Yeah, we did.
And now we haven't gotten any. So yeah, we are begging.
Yes, please.
Carrie says it's 1982, so we were 5 when I was 5 when I met Carrie.
5. All right. Again, admin@playitbyearpodcast.com. If you want to send us emails, leave a voice message, click the link at either your audio podcast provider or again on our website. There's a link there as well. Leave us a voice message. Leave a voice message is what the link says. So click on that. You can do it right there. Anything else, gentlemen? Gentlemen.
All good.
I don't think so. We should be back to Wednesday next week.
Yes, we should. So join us then, 7 o'clock Wednesday of next week.
Wednesday.
Todd, take us out.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter @Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.